think about. We've really covered the entire breadth and depth of the whole landscape of Buddhism and agriculture, its interconnections. We heard about maybe the history of the relationship of Buddhists and farming, agriculture, the possibility that Shinran himself was a farmer and how that helped to inform his understanding of the Nembutsu. But we've also learned about the way our pioneers came and struggled, but also laid the groundwork for not only our temples and our Nembutsu community, but our world as a whole. We've learned about the challenges, the complexities, the possibility of agriculture industry, and also the many lessons that we can learn from it. So a great number of things have been presented today, and I'm sure all of you, or many of you, have questions or comments that you'd like to make. So I will play the role of the person who brings mics to people. So if anyone would like to start out, like to raise your hand with a question or a comment of any kind. And if you have a particular question for a panelist, you could mention who you're directing your thoughts to. That would be really helpful. So who'd like to be the brave person and start out? Okay.
I guess this is for Professor Nasu. Through Ishini's letters, wasn't Ishini more of the farmer than Shinra?
Is it done?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ishini seems to be she was the like a landowner and estate manager. I'm not sure back then the ladies were also probably working in the field too. Because there was a Kamakura period, lots of wars, and men went to the war. And so I think it's status of men and women are pretty much equal back then. So, and I believe she's the one who taught Shinran how to work on the field. So I agree.
Anybody else have another question or comment of any kind? Anything is, yes, sir.
This is a question to the farmers. Nature has a way of creating such a habit when it comes to farming, be it pests, frost damage, heat, lack of water, etc., etc. Now, Buddha's saying is that accept things as is. How do you cope with something like that on a seasonal basis? When it comes to nature and all that you have to deal with.
What was the question? I don't think George heard you very well. Well, personally, I think that farmers, like I said before, they are very aware of what's happening around them. And they have learned to deal with reality. And that's Buddhism right there, isn't it? Over the years, they've learned to accept the weather for what it is, the water for what it is, the air for what it is, temperatures, everything like that. And the reality, and they live reality, and that's why it's so hard. They understand it. And I think they understand it a lot, well, I don't want to say a lot better. They understand it very well because they've suffered a lot.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay.
Since nobody else seems to be asking questions, this is for Harada Sensei. From a rancher's perspective from Central Oregon, what was your perspective on the takeover of the government facility in Central Oregon?
Oh, yeah. Heat things up a little bit.
Yeah, wasn't really, you mean in Burns?
Yes.
That one there? Yeah, I didn't understand the whole situation really well. I just thought that somehow something could have been resolved in a little bit more harmonious manner. It was unfortunate that it went to such extremes, but I wasn't as informed on that whole situation that well, so that's about all I can comment on. But it is very close to only about less than 2-hour drive from Eastern Oregon.
Is that the takeover?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to invite Mr. Teraoka to share his thoughts on Buddhism and agriculture, which he didn't get to do during his presentation.
Well, thank you. I'm a Dharma school teacher, and for all of you to get into the same mood of mind that I'm in, I'm going to ask you to join with me in a little experiment. It's something that I do with our Dharma school teachers, or rather Dharma school students from time to time, to make ourselves realize the reality of Amida Buddha. And for this, I'd like for all of you to join me. I know some of you have already have gone through this with me from time to time because it's quite frequently done. I'm going to ask all of you to sit up straight, and I'm going to ask all of you to take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Then I'm going to ask you, who did the breathing? All of you are probably going to say, like all other students, that I did the breathing. If I could do the breathing for the next 24 hours, this is your assignment. For the next 24 hours, will you let that I do the breathing? And so the kids start. You know what happens? We all know. Within a few minutes, you'll be so exhausted. This is the heck with it. In this little experiment, there were two powers. The breathing that you did by self-power, and then when you say, oh, I give it up, what happened? Mother Nature stepped in right in, and you've been breathing from the very moment that you came into this life. I've been breathing for the past almost 95 years. Never caused me any problem. But yet, when I try to do the breathing, I can only last for just a few seconds of my life. That other breathing is called tariki by Shinran. It's the other power. Tariki means the other power. To me, it's the power. Dairiki. Well, I call this Mother Nature. Mother Nature is just a personification of that dynamic energy of this universe. It is the energy of this dynamic energy of this universe. Sometimes we just plain accept it as nature. It's nature, which is an energy of this universe that we are all endowed with as a gift of life. That's tariki, as compared to self-power that tries to do the breathing. Now let's take this a little bit further. While I call this Mother Nature, in Buddhism we call it Buddha Nature. Buddha Nature and Mother Nature are the same thing. They are expressed at different levels of intellection. In the higher realm of intellection that you go to, that power that Buddha nature is the same thing as the Amida Buddha. The Amida Buddha is that dynamic energy of this universe that we all are endowed with. And when we go to a higher level of intellection, that Amida Buddha, well, in Dharma school we teach it as 3 bodies of the Buddha: Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. Dharmakaya is the highest, something that's really inconceivable. In fact, in ancient times, it was something that they just couldn't put a name to it, so they just got it, well, that's the way it is. And that's the way it is in Sanskrit. It's called Tathagata, one who comes from such as it is, because they just can't put a name to it. And then when you bring it down to the next level, then they personify it as the Amida Buddha. And then that's the Sambhogakaya. Then the next level is the Nirmanakaya, which is represented by Siddhartha Gautama. But at any rate, what was the question?
About agriculture.
Agriculture, exactly. Agriculture, well, first of all, nature is the basis of all science. You take astronomy, anatomy, all the way from A to Z of the alphabet. Every one of those different sciences are sciences that are study of the various manifestation of nature. A, anatomy, astronomy, atoms, these are all sciences of the specific area of nature. B, biology, botany, these are all sciences of a particular aspect of nature. C, chemistry, there must be other things, but go down the list all the way down to X, Y, Z, and you'll find that each one of those sciences are really specific area of this thing called nature. This thing really, in our Buddhist concept, it's a study of Amida Buddha, because nature and Amida Buddha are one and the same. One day there was a Kangaku from Nishihon Gaiji from Japan, and I asked him, 僕はこの仏と自然は同じようなものと求めていますがいかがでしょうか? And he said, よろしいです。それでよろしいです。Which to me confirmed my suspicion of what this Amida Buddha is. Now let's look at farming. The farmer says, what do you grow? Or ask somebody. And I says, well, I grow peaches. I grow grapes. Folks, farmers don't grow peaches. Farmers don't grow raisins or anything else. What is it that grows? Nature. Amida Buddha is the one that grows. And that's what the farmers are working with. The Amida Buddha in their life. Therein lies the secret of Buddhism in agriculture to me. You see, I'm a farmer that at the end of the day, and as I reflect on meditating the events of the day, you develop an attitude of gratitude. What are you grateful for? That dynamic energy of this universe. And it's manifested in all of the activities, really. But in farming, we're working with nature. We're working with the Amida Buddha. And I like to think, selfishly, self-centeredly, that the Amida Buddha is my employee and working for me. But Shinran will probably cut my head off and says, no. You are the employee of nature. And I think he would be correct. So it's, farmer says that I grow peaches. He doesn't grow peaches. It's nature. Amida Buddha. Therein lies to me the essence of Buddhism in agriculture. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there could be no better way to symposium to a close in those wonderful words of insight and wisdom. Thank you so much to everyone. This will bring our symposium this year to a close. I want to thank all of our wonderful speakers, Reverend Marvin Harada, Professor Eisho Nasu, Reverend Dr. Seigen Yamaoka, Mr. George Teruoka, Mr. Calvin Doi, and Ms. Mikiko Masumoto. I also want to thank all the organizers of today's symposium, to Reverend Kuwahara and Reverend Harada, their staff at CBE, Yumi Hata, Judy Kono, Edith Vassell. I want to thank Dr. Scott Mitchell of IBS for his kind support, and all of the members here at Central Cal of the organizing committee who made today's site possible, to Greg Sujama and to Gary Mukai and everyone from Central Cal who helped put together this wonderful event, to Reverend Nakagawa, Reverend Sakamoto, Reverend Hamasaki for your very kind and generous support, and to all of you for attending today's symposium. This has really been a really wonderful event. And since you've all given your kind permission to allow the backs of your head to be filmed, you are now participants in, I think, an event which will make its way to YouTube someday. Keep in mind that we will be able to enjoy and to view and learn from this event once again. Can we end today's symposium by asking all of you to join in this discussion? Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Thank you once again. Let's give a